What is good, my ninjas? This is your dude, Majin AN, here for another fantastic video. But before I get started on the video, I just want to let you know that I wasn't able to record this video on time due to my dog getting sick on Thursday, so I'm recording it now, so please bear with me. Every week before the start of an NFL week, I'm going to be doing a weekly recap, or what I call WeeKaps. Yeah, WeeKaps. I'm trying to make a pun there, but yeah, I'll get you caught up on what happened the week before you enter the next week. So that's a whole lot of use of the word week. But let's get it started right now. And we're going to start off week 4. Yes, bear with me. With the Cincinnati Bengals. Because I'm from Cincinnati, and we have to start with that. Anyways, it was a back and forth game with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence was playing his best game of the season, and James Robinson was putting the team on his back. They scored 14 unanswered points in the first half, while the Bengals' offense was struggling to get going throughout that half. However, in the second half of the game, the Bengals scored 21 or 28 unanswered points back with the help of my man, the Tiger King, Joe Burrow, throwing 3 back-to-back touchdowns. 2 of them to tight end C.J. Uzomah, who we thought wasn't going to have fantasy relevance this year due to the drafting of Jamar Chase. No T. Higgins, no problem. Even with one of the 3 mighty wide receivers, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase out, C.J. Uzomah got the team's back, along with amazing running back extraordinaire Joe Mixon. Now let's get to the next games, which is the craziest part. New York. We're going to talk about New York next, as in both winless New York teams ended up winning, getting W's, or how Jameis Winston would like to call it, which is ironic at this point, eating W's. But we'll get back to it. First, we'll talk about the New York Giants, who ate a W against Jameis Winston and the Saints. It was an amazing back and forth game. Daniel Jones was turning back into Danny Dimes of his rookie season, or possibly something even better, throwing a couple of touchdowns in a back and forth contest with the Saints, including a deep, nearly 50-yard pass, or maybe over 50-yard pass, to former Bengals first-round pick, John Ross. Where was that, you bastard? Where was that in Cincinnati? But anyways, Saquon Barkley was the one that was majorly carrying the Saints, especially during the overtime showdown, where he scored a last-minute touchdown to seal the deal for the Giants. However, Jameis Winston played pretty well, and Alvin Kamara always has the team on his back. But New Orleans should just think about letting Jameis sling. And that might solve a lot of their problems. And now we go to the Jets. The Jets, with young rookie quarterback Zach Wilson, went up against the favorites of that game, the Tennessee Titans. Oh boy. And unfortunately for the Titans, their weak defense screwed them over, as Zach Wilson was able to have a lot more breathing room with the weak Tennessee Titans defense compared to all the defenses he's faced so far, like Buffalo and New England, and he's been dealing with it. But yeah, a touchdown pass to 2 touchdown passes to Corey Davis, and a touchdown from Michael Carter, rookie running back Michael Carter, to get them into overtime, and surprisingly sealing the game with the kick. on both ends as Fat Randy Bullock misses another kick to possibly save the Titans. Unfortunately, he didn't save the Titans because he missed that kick. And this is why we kicked you out of Cincinnati, Fat Randy. You should be thinking about getting another job. But yeah, Corey Davis gave his old team the ass kicking of a century. Now we're going to go to some other games. What were some other games in NFL Week 4? Sorry about that. I'll play the music again, but again, I don't have much to work with, so I'm just doing my best. NFL Week 4. No, not Week 5, Week 4. Because I know some of the games from the top of my head, but still, I'd like to. Oh, okay. Now play the music again. Now we'll go to the Lions versus the Detroit Lions versus the Chicago Bears. For the whole first half, Chicago stuffed and dominated the Lions as Jared Goff, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, and the weak Detroit Lions receiving game couldn't get anything done, making things so much easier for their rookie QB Justin Fields, having a much better game than he did against the Browns. However, in the second half, Jared Goff scored 14 unanswered points, 2 back-to-back touchdowns to, you guessed it, Khalif Raymond of all wide receivers. And Quintez Cephas was picking up steam yet again, even with the wobbly TJ Hawkinson, who's been their leader in receiving. However, for the Bears side, David Montgomery was carrying the whole team, back-to-back touchdowns over 100 yards, until he got injured and had to get carted off for the game. I think it was carted off or wobbled, but either way, it was pretty bad. It was pretty damn bad. So I doubt that he's playing in Week 5. And then now we go to the Browns versus the Vikings. Two of the most explosive offenses in the league face off. However, the Vikings have the much more explosive offense. And the Browns ended up holding them for one score. The Vikings couldn't score afterwards. It's weird. A high-flying Vikings offense with Kirk Cousins leading the fray with Dalvin Cook, one of the best running backs in the game, Justin Jefferson, last season's rookie sensation and wide receiver, and the ever-reliable red zone target, Adam Thielen, couldn't do nothing against that ferocious pass rushing, dominant Sack City Cleveland Browns defense. Yeah, I'm calling them Sack City now. It's a thing. And I didn't expect the Browns to be one of the league's leaders in this season. God, years ago, you wouldn't expect the Cleveland Browns to be considered Super Bowl contenders. The freaking Browns. But yes, the running game just keeps dominating for them with the dynamic duo of Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. But yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. couldn't get anything going, even with the injury of Jarvis Landry. But they're working on it. And let's see, what's another game? Ooh, this game hurts me a lot because I'm an Eagles fan as well. We'll get to that in another video. But yes, the Eagles and Saints have a shootout. However, the Eagles' weak defense and questionable play calling and offense stalled them against a high-flying offense of the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is still doing Patrick Mahomes things, even doing a flick touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. And wow, Tyreek Hill, the human cheat code, is still really hard to guard against. That man is one of the most dominant wide receivers in the game. Facts don't lie. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire was also having a second 100-yard game effort. And it was amazing. Even with all the struggles he had earlier this season, he's proven to be a possible starting face and running back in the league. I'm just working with what I'm got. But on the Eagles side, Devontae Smith had his best game yardage-wise and was keeping the Eagles in the game along with QB sensation Jalen Hurts. But it was Kenneth Gainwell, their rookie running back, that was surprisingly having traction, along with Dallas Goedert and the ever-reliable Zach Ertz, who we thought was going to lose his relevancy due to the rise of Dallas Goedert. However, one player that was struggling and was not being used like he was supposed to was Miles Sanders. And as an Eagles fan, I'm saying this. Nick Sirianni, you bastard, why aren't you running the damn ball? This is supposed to be like a high-flying Eagles offense, even with these new faces. And Miles Sanders is good as hell. He should be running the ball right now. Like, oh my God. This is why, one of the reasons why we lost to the Cowboys on Monday night. Ah, you goon. But yes. Anyways, more games to come. What are some other... Oh, Atlanta versus Washington. Oh my God. The once mighty Washington football team defense has seen better days, even with Chase Young leading the way. They've been struggling. Even against a struggling Atlanta Falcons offense, who has been showing surprising grit with the most unlikeliest start. But in the end, Taylor Heineke has been killing it as a starting QB for the Washington football team. He's been averaging around 300 yards a game and nearly 2 or more touchdowns. And his offensive efforts with him and Terry McLaurin as the dynamic, Scary Terry as the dynamic duo, bam! Scary Terry have been saving the nameless Washington football team. And Antonio Gibson's running game has been killing it too, along with the versatility of J.C. McKissick. But Atlanta is not as weak as you think offensively. With the rise of, I wasn't expecting this, Cordero Patterson, who's been killing it in the past 4 games. 3 receiving touchdowns, and I believe 1 rushing touchdown. Holy crap! He's been stealing the thunder from lead running back Mike Davis, who we thought was going to have an awesome season. And Kyle Pitts hasn't emerged yet. Like, he was the best tight end prospect to enter the league in years, and he still is having trouble finding his footing. But he might have a chance to kill it in week 5 against the Jets. But yes, that game was impressive. All right, hold on again. I have no major editors, so there'll be brief pauses in each of these videos. So I'm trying to work well with my memory. Here, all right. Colts Dolphins, Texans Bills, Panthers Cow. Oh, that's all right. Those are some good games. Dolphins. All right. And now we'll go to the most one-sided game of the week. Washington is off to a really good start, even after losing to Pittsburgh in week 1. Their defense is first in the league. They are first in the league in yardages allowed, and when I mean first, they have not much yardage allowed in both passing and running. They completely shut out a very weak and disappointing Houston Texans team. Davis Miller, a rookie in over his head, couldn't get nothing done that game. But Josh Allen, along with Dawson Hard Knocks Life, had a field day, especially Dawson Knox, who's becoming one of the more premier tight ends in the league. 4 touchdowns in 4 games. 3 out of 4 games, he's had a touchdown. And Zach Moss and Devin Singletary are struggling to decide who is the starting running back of the team, but is leaning towards Zach Moss, as he's been the only thing he's been able to do better than Singletary is score. Stephon Diggs having a good game. Emmanuel Sanders having a good game. Cole Beasley had a quiet game. And let's see. Colts versus Dolphins. Dolphins with their struggling offense due to QB issues did as best as they could against the Colts, who've just been struggling. Carson Wentz, it's not pretty sometimes. You gimpy bastard. But he gets the job done. 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor was killing it this game too. Almost, I think, over 100 yards and a touchdown. He's been doing great. As great as he can with the struggling Colts offense. A touchdown pass to Mo Ali Cox, who honestly is a very underrated tight end. And Michael Pittman's doing his best too. But yeah, Carson Wentz is surprisingly getting it done. But the real hero of the Colts, who I also have in fantasy, is Rodrigo Blankenship, the gusto kicker of the Colts. The rookie kicking sensation last season has now established a spot as the true replacement of Adam Vinatieri, the Golden Legs himself. But yeah, the Dolphins, I don't know what's going on with Jacoby Brissett. Well, actually, I know what's going on. He's not as great as we were hoping as a backup. And Devontae Parker should be getting the ball more. Seriously, he's your best receiver, even with the new additions. With the constantly injured Will Fuller and the rookie Jalen Waddle. Get Devontae Parker the ball more. Or Mike Gesicki. Because Myles Gaskin, a once promising running back, became a goose egg. Well, in fantasy terms, a goose egg. This game, as he was very ineffective. But yeah, now it's time for. Let's see, what's another game? Ooh, a really good game. Panthers versus Cowboys. And what was the shootout? The Panthers came into that game undefeated. However, Dak and the Cowboys, well, in my words, the Cowgirls, because I'm an Eagles fan, freaking Cowgirls, came here to play. And they came here and they won. Ezekiel Elliott with a dominating performance. Touchdown run, almost 100 yards. Let's see. With over 100, yeah. All right, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yes, now the Panthers versus the Cowboys again. That game was a shootout. And as I mentioned, the Cowboys won that. But Sam Darnold is starting to be looked at as a superstar QB in the league. It shows in past 4 games, he's been doing nothing but scoring. And this game was no different, minus the turnovers. 3 touchdowns passing over 300 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Sam Darnold could not be stopped. He and DJ Moore were killing it. It was a wild game. And that game and these past 4 games showed that Sam Darnold was clearly not the problem in New York. And that it was clearly the Jets that were the problem. But more importantly, bug-eyed Adam Gase that was the problem. Yes, I'll have another video on Gase in one of these upcoming videos. But yes, and yes. The next game to be reported was and the next game I'm getting into was a game that helped me out fantasy-wise. Because, woo! Yeah, that's right. I didn't think I had another jersey underneath this jersey, bitch. The Ravens versus the Broncos. The Broncos came in undefeated with Teddy Bridgewater off to a good season. However, they were in over their heads with the very crippled but vicious Broncos defense, who later gave Teddy Bridgewater concussion, and Drew Lock, former starter, had to come in, who was turning over the ball and just getting killed in there left and right. But on the offense of the Ravens side, Lamar Jackson was doing Lamar Jackson things. Running, passing, shoot. One of the best plays of the week was a deep pass, dropping a bomb in Colorado to Marquise Hollywood Brown. Marquise Brown wasn't in Hollywood, but he was sure a star that night. And also, I had them both in fantasy, in the same team starting that game, so you can tell I was happy as hell that night. But yes, Latavius Murray also had an impressive touchdown. But the most talked about moment in the game was Lamar Jackson running to get a first down to seal the deal against the Broncos, which Fangio was bitching about, but no one else was. Next game we go to is the Packers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, I said it. And as this whole has been for this whole season, Big Ben Roethlisberger has been struggling. However, the only connection he has on offense are towards 2 players. Rookie running back Najee Harris, who's been having himself quite a season, has become quite a workhorse for the team, and Deontay Johnson, who has established himself as the true number 1 of the Steelers' defense, and the next Antonio Brown, who we thought Juju Smith-Schuster was going to be. Due to the injury to Chase Claypool, they were relying a lot on Najee, Juju, and Deontay Johnson. But the offense couldn't get much going. But Aaron Rodgers was smoking that crippled and legendary Pittsburgh defense. A defense without TJ Watts for I don't know how long. But it was a years-old connection that was really killing in this game. As Aaron Rodgers got to, I can't believe I'm saying this, and it's been years since we heard this. Aaron Rodgers to Randall Cobbs for multiple touchdowns. It was like the good old days with Randall and Aaron. But yeah, that game was fun. Now it's the 49ers versus the Seattle Seahawks. And as you know, people have been waiting for Trey Lance to get in and have his first NFL start after being used for trick plays. And that's going to happen next week because in the middle of that game, Jimmy G ended up with the calf injury, and Trey Lance had to relieve him. And he almost caught the 49ers back up after they were struggling to deal with the relentless Russell Wilson and 49ers passing game, led by Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. But yeah, Trey Lance is looking like a stud right now. But we aren't sure how studly he's going to be until his first start this upcoming Sunday. It is going to be a good game, and a game that a lot of people are anticipating for. But yeah, 49ers lost to the Seahawks. It was one-sided. But a surprisingly good game. Actually, it wasn't a surprisingly good game, but the results were surprising. The undefeated Cardinals versus the undefeated Rams. And one of these teams were going to stay undefeated. And it was the Cardinals who have been up to a fantastically hot fuego start. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals were killing it. And Kyler Murray has been passed into many targets. To the Max Williams. And look whose jersey I have. A.J. Green. A.J. Green has become one of Kyler Murray's favorite targets, and it's been showing. Matt Stafford struggled a little bit in this game, but it was still a good game. And their offense with Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and Darrell Henderson, along with Higbee, will come back again. And last but not least, I think this is the last game of Week 5. No, that's not. The second to last game of Week 5. The Sunday Night Football game. Tom Brady's triumphant return to New England as the Bucs and the Patriots faced off. Frankly, Tom was struggling throughout most of the game, and the offense couldn't even score for the Bucs. However, Mac Jones surprised us all and was torching a very strong Tampa Bay defense with passes to Jacoby, scoring with both tight ends and passing to his favorite target, Jacoby Myers. But the running game was struggling against the best run defense in the league. Damian Harris had -4 rushing yards, and the only effective running back was Brandon Bolden due to his passing usage. But Tom Brady and his favorite target, Antonio Brown, were able to set up miracles. And Ryan Succop was probably the hero of the game, reminding people why Tom Brady loves his kickers, as they bailed him time and time again. It was a really heartwarming reunion between Tom Brady and Belichick. But in the end, Tom has proven that he won the breakup. But not in the long term. But he won the breakup. But Mac Jones has been having a pretty effective rookie season. So I can say that. And now it's time for the last game, Monday Night Football. The Las Vegas Raiders, who have been off to a fantastic start, one of the undefeated teams, beating two of the top teams in the league, the Ravens and the Chiefs, against also powerful Chargers team led by the young QB sensation Justin Herbert and all of his weapons, coming off from a triumphant and incredible win against the Chiefs. Derek Carr and the Raiders could not get anything going during the first half. And they were struggling against Joey Bosa and a pretty powerful Chargers defense. But Justin Herbert was torching them with 3 touchdowns in the first half. 2 to tight ends and 1 to Austin Eckler, I think. I'm not sure who the fourth. Actually, 2 touchdowns to Jared Cook. They're all for tight ends. 2 touchdowns to Jared Cook and 1 touchdown to Donald Parham. Young tight end who's probably going to be looked at a lot more in the future. Austin Eckler was doing his thing, and so was Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. But in the second half, the Raiders came back and started scoring back-to-back unanswered touchdowns. 1 to Hunter Renfrow, who is becoming one of my favorite players in the league. The next Julian Edelman, Wes Welker, Cole Beasley, Dominic White, wide receiver, Antonio Brown, Cooper Kupp. Antonio Brown's not white, but he's a shifty receiver like that. Hunter Renfrow is getting there. Man is hard to stop. And another touchdown to Derek Carr's favorite target and one of the best tight ends in the league, Darren Waller, the matchup nightmare. But in the end, they fell short to a hot LA Chargers team. And just like the lightning and thunder at the Dome, lightning was striking. And that is all for the Week 4 recap for the NFL. I'm looking forward to Week 5, and I hope to make more videos for that for y'all.